So apparently the Genshin 5.4 special program is being pushed early for some reason. Other than the Archon quest, which truly shows off how long this game has come. This hasn't been a good patch, mainly cause of the stacked banners, which proves how money-hungry Hoyo really is. 3 mid-mini events that we gotten so far, since they leave in Lantern right at the end for obvious reasons. And speaking of which, so many characters including Hu Tao, which had to happen when she finally gets an official main role for an event, besides a few characters including Xiangling and Baizhu, for example, will be muted cause of the AI situation that's been going on for months. I would say that this ain't Hoyo's fault, but at the same time, it's their responsibility since they hired that studio in the first place.
You know, Linyan, I remember Olorun said those words about the situation where a couple voice actors got changed back in Star Rail 2.4 when he attacked Dawei 5 months ago.
Oh yeah, I remember Huo being one of them. Speaking of which, we should invite her to the call if she's available. Also, about Olorun. I wonder how he's been doing these days. We should invite him and his avatar Amari to the call as well.
I remember he joined that day when I wasn't able to join because of work. From what I've seen from the videos so far, he seems like a really interesting person. I'm really looking forward to finally getting a chance to meet him.
Yeah, hopefully we don't get another chaotic session like last time. I remember he invited me to play Dragon Ball Sparking Zero with his girlfriend Olivia's cousin and his bros from back home in Atlanta. But Judong and I were busy setting up the Legend of the Trailblazer story. I'm glad that this time we can finally get to know each other a lot better. Oh, and by the way, for those of y'all watching this that haven't watched our performance, the video will be on the top right of your screen.
Greetings. We meet once again, my good friends Linyan and Clara.
Hello there, Olorun. It's nice to meet you again. I remember last time you were really upset about Hoyo completely messing up your image and not having your African people besides Ian-san as playable characters. Also, from what I've heard so far, it got worse to the point where you made a trip to the Hoyoverse headquarters to punish Dawei. But he ended up being saved by his bodyguard, which initiated the altercation between the two of you. Right as you were about to finish him off, a kind woman named Olivia ended up resolving the situation and finally bringing peace between the two of you.
And that person happens to be me.
Huh? I was really focused on my conversation with Olorun that I didn't notice you joining. Linyan told me about the therapy session you had for Goku before it got interrupted by Amari's arch-enemy. It's nice to finally meet you, Olivia.
I can say the same for you as well, Clara. Silverwolf told me a lot about you when she invited Amari and I to a couple games of Smite with her friends a couple months back. She mentions a lot about how close you and Linyan are.
Yeah, we've known each other for a year now, and she's been the most amazing and kind-hearted person that I've ever met. Also, welcome back to the server, Olivia.
Thanks for once again having me, Linyan. I'll let you continue what you were about to say, Clara.
Anyways, Olorun, what are your thoughts on Natlan since it's been out for a while now?
Honestly, they did a pretty good job with the colorful scenery, as well as the amazing Archon quest. However, I to this day will never forgive these niggas for what they did to our people. And most importantly, the dishonor these mortals showed towards my image by making this Native American Sasuke Uchiha into a fucking joke.
Because tonight will be the night that I will fall for you over again. Don't make me change my mind. No, I won't lift.
Ororon. Ororon! That's it! Where are my tools? I swear if I don't teach you a lesson right here and now, get back here this instant! Ororon!
Yeah, it got worse to the point where Amari bullied and tortured Dawei the day after he played the Archon quest that he first appeared in. The two of you should have seen my reaction when I first heard about it. Hey everyone, I'm back from my trip.
Oh hey Olivia, I hope it went amazing. Also, there's someone that's been wanting to meet you, who you'll be happy to see.
Huh? Is that who I think it is?
Hey there, Olivia. It's wonderful to finally meet you in person. Your therapy sessions really helped me a lot through tough times.
Oh well, thank you so much, Rosella. I'm glad that I was able to provide an impact towards your life.
Yeah. If it wasn't for you, I probably wouldn't have recognized Amari based on what you told me about him.
I'm curious to know how exactly the two of you met.
Oh, about that. I'ma let Rosella do most of the explaining while I do my part as well.
Well, so here's what happened. As I was going for a walk to clear my head after what I went through the day before, which was my birthday, I happened to run into Amari, who was torturing Dawei after what he allowed for Hoyo to do to his people, and most importantly, his god Olorun. They did him so wrong in the Archon quest to the point where his charged lightning orb could have potentially killed Dawei if I didn't step in to protect him after the racial slurs he kept offending Amari with.
Hold on! Amari did what? Listen, I completely understand why you would be upset with how much they've been mistreating your culture, so I don't fully blame you. But have you lost your mind?
Damn, we had no idea that it happened again. Also, thank goodness we won't have to encounter Dawei anymore.
Exactly. I'm glad that we're getting someone a lot nicer and understanding to start joining us this time. What are your thoughts on this so far, Olorun?
As much as I would prefer to speak with Dawei instead, this is understandable. But what isn't understandable are the decisions with the banners and events these mortals have made to scam people for this patch. 2 brand new characters in the same banner phase? Has this Niga Dawei lost his damn mind for allowing this sheet?
I remember Amari was also upset when he first heard about this. Speaking of which, he's currently busy with something at the moment, but he'll be joining us soon.
He told me that he got the capturing radiance on Mavika's banner, but completely lost to Kiki, or however you want to pronounce that small gremlin when it comes to banners, when he pulled on Citlali's banner around the last day.
Hey, pass that shit. Hey, bro, I think we should make some shit called math and all types of shapes and shit in that hole. But hold on, right when they think they got that shit figured out, and the alphabet in that hole, them niggas gonna be mad as shit, boy.
The beach Niga that decided to come up with that idea deserves to be punished. But not by me or my avatar's hand.
Hola, mis amigos. I am Xbalanque, the god of fire.
I had no idea that you actually exist!
I know, right? Either way, welcome to our Discord server, Lord Xbalanque.
You must be the Crimson Butterfly swordsman Olorun here told me about. It's an honor to finally meet you, Linyan.
Well, if it isn't my man Xbalanque, how have things been for you these days?
Things on my end have been going fine so far. By the way, in case y'all are wondering, a mysterious hacker named Silver Wolf invited me to this call.
He wanted to speak to Dawei since he also has his own complaints towards him. I'll be inviting him to the call now.
Actually, Silverwolf? That won't be necessary since we don't want to risk him messing with the wrong people. Holy shit! Is that Lord Xbalanque in this Discord call? I didn't know that you actually exist!
Yep, I'm the one and only mi amiga.
Hold on, there's something I just realized. If I may ask Lord Xbalanque, why do you look so different in Smite and majority of the research I found about you on Google?
About that. He's actually a completely different person who just happens to share the same name as me. I'll explain more about my story another time. Anyways, I don't appreciate what Hoyoverse did by making me into a weak child in Mavwika's story quest, so I understand how you feel, Olorun. But are you motherfuckers even planning on making me playable at this point?
I'm not the one that makes these ideas, but I apologize on behalf of the dev team's actions. A lot of us would love to see you as a playable character if that's still possible. Maybe you could replace Bennett and become a dedicated support for Mavwika and a lot of other characters that benefit from attack.
Speaking of which, I remember hearing rumors back then that he will be an OP main DPS who will be coming in the later patches. But we've all heard that story before.
Now that I think about it, I remember something similar happened to Yaimiko when people said that she would change Electro. But she ended up being a sub-DPS who is basically made for Dendro teams. Although you could still use her as a quick swap main DPS in a few teams like Quick Bloom paired alongside Furina, Nahida, and Baiju, for example.
By the way, I remember our editor Xuan posted a video about it back in May, I believe. Although, the Abyss has recently been getting somewhat more challenging with these Natlan mechanics.
I'm starting to agree with you, Linyan. Other than the boss in the first half of the second chamber in floor 12, depending on the elements you bring, the enemies in the last 2 chambers of the second half can take up some time to beat because of the Abyss shield they have.
Yeah, Citlali is really beneficial for the first half if you enjoy using either of the 3 main Pyro DPS. Although for the second half you can get away with using other characters, they really want to encourage you to use Pyro and Natlan characters based on the passive buffs for each of the halves.
Speaking of which, one interesting thing about Mavwika is that if Xilonen and Citlali, who are her main Natlan supports, ever get power crept one day, she'll most likely still want to make use of them, especially Xilonen, since they're really good at generating fighting spirit for her to use her burst more often.
You have a good point, Clara. If I were to enter the comp as a support, does that mean that I would take Bennett's spot as the noblesse holder? Or would they finally make a new artifact set that is made for me instead of forcing everyone from Natlan to use the two sets?
Well, to answer your question, Lord Xbalanque, when it comes to Mavwika's main team, Citlali would be the one to hold the hero set, which would allow Xilonen to switch to Archaic Petra for the buff it provides for Crystallize. Although for you, assuming if they don't make a brand new set for you, you may or may not have to be the noblesse holder.
How interesting. Well, anyways, I'ma need you to bring Da Wei into the call since I still have some words for that hijo de puta.
Huh? Hold on a minute. Did you not catch what I said earlier? He's no longer able to join for his own safety.
Yeah, please listen to us, Lord Xbalanque. We understand you're upset about what they did to you, but I don't want you to make the same mistake Olorun and his avatar, who happens to be my boyfriend, made.
Look! I ain't trying to hear that mierda. You better let that coward into this fucking server before I do Olorun and his avatar a favor by making a trip to China to burn down the Hoyoverse headquarters.
And there goes our hope for not having a chaotic session, Linyan.
Yeah, I wouldn't want Rosella to walk into this since she's planning on joining with Amari later for a therapy session we're planning on doing for Linyan's best friend, Zhudong.
Wait a minute, are you referring to the same Rosella that I'm thinking of?
Depending on who you had in mind, I believe that must be the case.
Well, this may come as a surprise to most of you, but she happens to be my avatar.
Wait, for real? No wonder she was so strong when I saw her sparring against Amari 2.5 months ago.
I was just thinking the same exact thing, Miyouji. It makes so much sense now. I knew how talented she was since I can sense a warm rose-colored flame within her chakra. But I didn't think she was that close to the same level as Amari.
Look, as much as I can't wait to meet Xbalanque's avatar, there's still one problem. Xbalanque himself is still gonna fucking destroy the Hoyoverse headquarters. Olivia told me a lot about Rosella when we were playing Smite, and I don't think she herself would even want this.
You have a point, Silver Wolf, since she prevented my avatar from finishing off Da Wei. Listen, Xbalanque, my friend. I understand the resentment you are feeling towards the Hoyoverse developers, but unless you want to start a conflict with Goku, it isn't worth your time and energy.
Hey, it's me, Goku! What Olorun is saying is right. Listen, Xbalanque, I really don't want to have any problems with you since you seem like a really nice guy to hang around, judging from the times Olorun invited the two of us to play Smite with him from time to time.
Oh, well, if it isn't Goku, it's nice to finally meet you.
Welcome back to the Crimson Butterfly Troop, Goku. You came at the perfect time.
Thanks for having me once again, Linyan. Also, it's nice meeting you for the first time as well, Clara. You know, Silver Wolf was right about the two of you resembling a couple.
In case you're wondering, Olorun also invited me and Firefly to play a few games of Smite with them once.
All jokes aside, Silver Wolf messaged me that Rosella is your avatar, which is shocking to me as well. But Wolfie is also right. Not even your avatar would want this as well, since she saved my boss and officially put the entire conflict to an end.
Goku's right, Xbalanque. If you plan on attacking the Hoyoverse headquarters, then I'll have no choice but to stop you. All right, you can cut the act. You know I can tell when you're joking, Xbalanque.
I'll admit you got me there once again, Rosella. My apologies for scaring everyone, by the way. Also, I wasn't expecting to run into you again, Goku. How has your family been these days?
They've been doing really well so far, although Chi-Chi can still get crazy as usual. So I take it your folks at home have also been doing well?
Yeah, they've been getting by up to this point. It ain't easy being from a small Mayan town in Mexico like El Condor. To make a long story short, that's actually where Rosella's Mexican bloodline originates from. I'm glad everything is starting to pick back up for you in China. Olorun told me about the new friends you've made ever since you met Amari and Olivia.
Thanks, Xbalanque. I'll be sure to visit you with my best friend Shui Ming whenever we get the chance.
For sure, Rosella. I know everyone here would love to see you again.
Oh, if it isn't Linyan the Crimson Butterfly Swordsman. Shui and I watched your skit with Zhudong back in July. I also finished watching your version of The Legend of the Trailblazer earlier. It's an honor to finally meet you and Clara.
It's also an honor for us to have another avatar such as yourself into our Crimson Butterfly Troop, Rosella. Anyways, while we wait for some friends of ours to join so we can start the therapy session, would Would y'all be down to run some Marvel Rivals?
As much as I would like to stay and chat with everyone, I really need to get going since I will be having some guests over to have dinner with.
Let me guess. You invited that Yoruba water goddess along with her avatar over. If only Amari and his companions could join you. Anyways, I'll be down to game with y'all for a bit.
Chi-Chi and I haven't gone out for dinner in a while, so I promised her that today would be the day for me to take her and the family somewhere nice.
Oh, that's actually sweet of you. I hope you and your family have an amazing dinner, Goku. I fortunately have some time to stay and play with you guys for a bit.
That's amazing! Linyon and I will start up a lobby for us to invite you guys in.
By the way, Amari just got back home. I'll let him know to join us.
Oh shit, this is really bad!
What happened, Linyon? Do we need to fight another Sanctus Medicus cult member?
Fortunately, we don't for now. I got a text from Xinyue that Judong got into it with a friend of his, who returned from the Juming. I'm sorry, Olivia, but we're gonna have to set up the therapy session for another day.
It's fine, Linyon. I understand comforting your friend is more important.
Yeah. I promised Amari and Olivia that I'll be here to help Judong and Ruoxuan squash their 5-year-long beef with each other. Well then, you two, may our paths cross again.
So this must be the part where we say the outro. Allow me to do the honors.
Since you were probably the biggest surprise of this session, it's only right that you say it.
Anyways, if y'all enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe for more of Linyon and his squad's content in the future. Since we now got the perfect amount of people for it, would y'all be down to switch to Overwatch afterwards?
It may not be the best idea since Amari is about to hop on. How about we play Dragon Ball Sparking Zero instead afterwards?
That's actually a good idea.
I agree. I might be able to invite Shui if she isn't busy.
Awesome! Let me just invite Amari to the lobby and we'll be good to go.
What's good, everyone? Hopefully I came in time for us to start up the therapy session. Hold up! Is that the real Xbalanque in this server? Or is he either one of them trolling ass niggas or those AI-generated bots I be seeing around online that raided us?
Heh. Alright, you saw through me, Amari. I'm actually a bot designed by Silverwolf to troll everyone in here.
Heh. Really, Xbalanque? To think you were actually done with the jokes for today. Don't listen to him, Amari. I've surprisingly been an avatar just like you the entire time. The reason why I didn't mention this to you and Olivia, or even to anyone in general besides Shui and my older sister, obviously, is because I don't want people thinking differently of me based off my skills. I want people to know me as the kind and caring Rosella that I am. Shui also understands since she's an avatar as well.
I knew you had to be strong ever since you stood up to me that day, but I never expected you to be Xbalanque's avatar, let alone him actually existing. Also, you don't gotta worry about what those other people will think, because as I mentioned before we sparred that day, we still regular people just like everyone else at the end of the day, no matter our skill or what we're known for, and people will still judge regardless whether you up or down.
Also, as Mualani said about the Traveler in the Archon quest, I'm just really happy that I've gotten a chance to be friends with you no matter if you're an avatar or not. I'm sure a lot of people who are really close to you feel the same way.
Thanks, Miyouji. It really means a lot. Although, you all should really be thanking Olivia. If it wasn't for her, I don't think all of us would be having this conversation right now.
You know, having you as my client was one of the best things that has ever happened in my experience as a therapist, since it led Amari and I into being your friends. So we'll always cherish these moments for the rest of our lives.
Now that I think about it, you should come visit us in China one day before Amari and his group head back home to the States, Xbalanque. You're really gonna love it here.
I really appreciate your offer, Rosella. I'll be sure to visit as long as you return the favor. Our people here, including myself, really miss having you around.
No need to worry, Xbalanque. I haven't forgotten about them.
You guys? I hate to ruin the moment, but we should definitely stop the video here, since it's been going on for longer than expected.
Oh shit, you're right. I wouldn't want us to make this a lot tougher for Linyon's editor. By the way, Amari, the therapy session is postponed since something came up for Linyon and Clara. We should start up our first match now.
Como dijo antes mi amiga Rosella para mis personas de habla hispana, que nuestros caminos se vuelvan a cruzar.